Now, before I show you Bill Maher going completely nuclear on the Democrats, let me ask you something real quick. Why is it that every year, like clockwork, Hollywood elites turn award shows into political rallies and then act shocked when normal Americans call out the hypocrisy?
So Billie Eilish, she gets an award for like dipshit of the decade. I mean, I don't know. So she's up there getting the award. Here's what she said. These celebs, they kill me.
No one is illegal on stolen land. Yeah, it's just really hard to know what to say and what to do right now. And I feel really hopeful in this room, and I feel like we just need to keep fighting and speaking up and protesting. And
nobody's illegal on stolen land. I'm not even sure I should do right now. I got a recommendation for you. How about you shut the fuck up? Just sing. Hey, Bill. Do you go by Bill? I don't really care. Okay. Bill, I got an idea. You're probably worth, I don't know, 10 million, 20 million. Take about 10 milli. Go buy up a bunch of like lots and then return them to the people you think they were stolen from. Well, I don't know who there's. Of course you don't. There is no such thing as stolen land. There is land people live on and there's land people don't live on. Okay. This stolen land bullshit in the United States. Give it back. Okay. This is a lifetime update. The Tongva tribe reacts to Bill as the first people of Greater Los Angeles Basin. We do understand our home is situated in our ancestral land. Eilish has not contacted our tribe directly regarding her property. We will follow up today. Yes, I love you, the member of the Tongva tribe. You guys are heroes.
Now, this right here is the blueprint. You got a multimillionaire celebrity standing on stage in front of the wealthiest room in entertainment, telling everyday Americans how immigration policy should work. Mind you, this is all the while living in a gated, luxury, protected community, by private security. I don't know if it's in a protected community. I should have just said protected security, but I want you to notice something. No nuance, with no policy discussion, no trade-off, just slogans from that award show. Because that's what Hollywood activism usually is, performance. It's always performative. It's never solution-based, right? But backlash didn't stay on local media. Nope, it did not. It made it all the way to the White House briefing room.
And finally, new rule memo to Democrats. If you ever want to win an election again, the absolute most important first step is stop doing this.
We gather in celebration of the Oscars on the ancestral lands of the Tongva, Tataviam, and Chumash peoples, the traditional caretakers of this water and land.
This is where he's about to start snapping, so prepare yourself.
Yeah, I don't know if we're still saying cringe. But if we are, that's this. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Either give the land back or shut the up. Look, I understand the desire to right the wrongs of the past, especially when you get to take the moral high ground and then build an 8,000 square foot mansion on it. And I'm sure Julianne Hough is sincere about her love for the Chumash people, but I doubt she drives to work in a canoe, scavenges for acorns, or lives in a dome house made of reeds and dried mud. That's Woody Harrelson.
This post comes with the caption, Maher nails Hollywood hypocrisy again. Billie Eilish at the Grammys. No one is illegal on stolen land. F ICE. Meanwhile, a multi-million-dollar LA mansion sits on Tongva territory. Bill Maher's timeless roast. Give it back or shut the up. Spot on then. Spot on now. Hypocrite or just performative? What do you think? Should celebs put their money where their mouth is where this comes from. Comes with. And here's why Bill Maher resonated here. He's not coming from it as a politician. He's coming at it from the hypocrisy angle. You can't stand on a stage talking about stolen land while sitting on multi-million-dollar property built on the exact thing you're condemning. That contradiction is what drives people QQ for Cocoa Puffs. And once that contradiction starts getting called out, the narrative starts unraveling pretty fast. I'm for real. Like really fast, y'all. Which brings us to the response from the administration.
I'm sorry?
On the statements of Bad Bunny saying ice out. Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's very ironic and frankly sad to see celebrities who live in gated communities with private security, with millions of dollars to spend protecting themselves, trying to just demonize, law enforcement, public servants who work for the United States government to enforce our nation's laws. And you didn't hear this same type of uproar from celebrities in Hollywood when the previous administration allowed an invasion of our nation's borders and allowed innocent women and girls like Jocelyn Nungaray and Laken Riley to be killed and raped and murdered at the hands of people who should have never been in our country in the first place. And now you have law enforcement who are simply trying to do their jobs to remove violent predators like those who took the lives of innocent Americans. There was no uproar from Hollywood and the elitist crowd at the Grammys then, but there is now, and I think that speaks to the unfortunate irony that we're seeing in Hollywood today.
Now, this is where the conversation shifts from celebrity theater to real world consequences, because while Hollywood debates optics, law enforcement deals with outcomes. And that right there is the clear disconnect. One side speaks in symbolism, the other side speaks in responsibility. That divide didn't stop backstage at the Grammys either. I just want y'all to know that. Because what looked spontaneous to viewers started to look a lot more like, look a lot more coordinated when people dug deeper.
All right, we've got an interesting guest on this. Sports journalist and media personality Emily Austin got to take in this dumpster fire live right there in the room. Take a listen to this.
I'm so edgy. It's guys. Oh my god. Standing ovation for Ice Out. I'm gonna sit down. You should all be ashamed of yourself. We love America. I love our law enforcement.
Emily joins us now to talk about it. All right, so bring us into the room last night. What's it like to sit through something like that?
Personally, I love music. You know, I'm your typical Gen Zer with more brain cells than most people in my generation. So I just wanted to have a great time. And unfortunately, I could have anticipated people like Billie Eilish speaking up with the Ice Out pins. But I'll tell you something nobody's talking about. On my way to the red carpet, there were folks at the Grammys handing out Ice Out pins. Now, if you remember, Haley and Justin walked the red carpet wearing Ice Out. Yeah. And I thought to myself, that's bizarre, because they don't pretend to be educated on matters, and I don't think anyone instructed them to do this. Why would they do such a thing? And then to nobody's surprise, I find out that there was a coordinated effort in spreading this agenda throughout the event. So fortunately, most celebrities remained silent on the matter, but the few who did use the opportunity on stage to call for ICE being out have to be the biggest hypocrites in the game, because each and every single one of these people walked into the arena with 15-foot barricades and security, their own private hired security, living in multi-million-dollar mansions with gates. That doesn't sound like an open border to me. No. And then Miss Billie Eilish, who said no one is illegal on stolen land, has a restraining order for a gentleman who broke into her home. But you stole that land, so why not give it to this gentleman who broke in?
It doesn't make a lot of... I thought the same thing about Bieber and his girlfriend, because the girlfriend is the daughter of Stephen Baldwin, who's actually a friend of this network. I mean, he's a very conservative dad, is Haley Bieber's father. And but you know, in that moment, they're going to give you that pin. And I think for a lot of people, it's like, you're going to put this on. And if you don't, you're going to go on our little list. And you don't want to be on that list, because you might not get invited back. You might find yourself being removed from that little bubble that they've created there. And I think that's how they get everybody in there just clapping like seals, because you'd be terrified to go against the regime in Hollywood.
The regime is a great way to put it. Unfortunately, you just nailed it. Everyone in that room, they're sheep, and sheep follow more sheep. And there's no alpha there to really just take an initiative and say, you know what, I'm sorry, this is wrong. I can't tell you that one person who speaks about ICE from Hollywood actually has a single clue of what they're talking about. And if anything, to be completely honest with you, if I knew someone in there had some sort of a backbone and actually meant what they said, you know what? Difference of opinion. I know how to agree to disagree. But everyone in there was one sheep just following another. They were doing what they thought was cool at the time, because if they really cared about morals, they would have spoke about Iran. But you didn't see any of those women on stage speaking about the tens of thousands being killed because it didn't fit the agenda and they weren't handing out free Iran pins.
Yeah, and because they'd be terrified to ever criticize Islam because Islamic people are not white, and so they're victims. And so you can't criticize anything they do, even when it's an atrocity against their own people. You can't touch that. But you sure as hell can touch standard immigration enforcement in this country. Emily, thanks so much. And it was wild to see you got in that thing. We appreciate you coming on, though. Good to see you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, actor Kevin.
Now
everybody's reporting the same stories, the same.
Now we're getting production level politics. Pins distributed inside one of the most security locked events on the planet. I mean, what? And we supposed to believe that it just happened? Come on, y'all. Smarter than that. Nothing enters those venues accidentally. I mean, maybe Snoop Dogg and some weed, but he knew somebody to get that in there. But anywho, nothing enters those venues accidentally. Nothing circulates without approval. That's not grassroots at all. That's quite literally orchestration, which is the word, or orchestrated, which was the word that I wanted y'all to put in the last video. But yeah, and when you lay that with the speeches, the messaging, the all the visuals, it starts looking less like activism and more like branding. Seriously, and that's exactly why critics start zeroing in on it.
I arrive in my retrofit dress. I'm feeling good. Have this clutch that went super viral. Now, what I did not realize was when you walk into the Grammys yesterday, there are people handing out Ice Out pins. You all probably saw Justin and Hailey on the red carpet wearing Ice Out. I don't think that was part of their glam plan. I don't think any stylist was like, hey, you should wear this. And I don't think Hailey and Justin thought of it themselves. I don't think they're that creative. How about that? But they ended up wearing that, and it broke all these headlines, and everyone wore it. But why? Why? This person was not a bystander handing out Ice Out pins. If you saw the amount of police, why do you have police? I thought that's law enforcement, and apparently y'all don't respect them. Barricades 15 feet tall, police cars, police officers, machine guns, agents patrolling the crypto arena to make sure that the celebrities that are inside that arena are kept protected and safe. Those are the people that everyone on stage is berating.
And this is the part Hollywood does not like people thinking about. Because once you expose the staging, the illusion cracks. It's gone. It stops looking rebellious. It stops looking authentic. It starts looking like a scripted moment designed for applause with zero personal cost attached. Meanwhile, the same celebrities opposing enforcement still hire enforcement privately. Man, that's the hypocrisy theme again right there. And if it keeps resurfacing, which is why media voices started pushing back hard.
The people say, oh, you got to respect their opinion. Now, I do respect their opinion, but I don't value their opinion because their opinion is not informed. If I want to hear a great song, I listen to Lady Gaga. If I want to hear about immigration policy, I listen to Stephen Miller, who also has a great voice. What else can Miller do?
But hey, we might find out. Harold Ford.
The people say, oh, you got
Jesse, man. Now, this clip works because it taps into something most viewers already feel. Expertise matters. Being talented doesn't automatically equal being informed. That skepticism is growing pretty fast, especially when policy discussions get reduced to stage slogans. So the final pushback, it came with zero softness.
Do you think Billie Eilish is going to allow any trespassing on the stolen land that she owns on the coast of the Pacific?
I just keep thinking about what her publicist and everyone is saying after this, because the second she said it, it was a beauty to watch Twitter light up. And I'm also glad that you brought up what happened in Martha's Vineyard. I looked up that video today, Jesse. See, great minds think alike. Because I'm like, remember when they stood there and they were so angry about what Ron DeSantis and Greg Abbott were doing from Florida and Texas and sending them their way. And then they sat there and said, adios, Good luck. Like, none of these people actually mean what they say. So is Billie Eilish going to follow through and welcome them on to that stolen land, 14 million? Will her security guard allow them to come on her property? I'm sure she would tell her security guard to lay low, let them in. Give me a break.
And do you think Billie Eilish is going to...
Now, this is where the argument lands. Because at the end of the day, people aren't reacting to celebrities having opinions. They're reacting to the double standard. Lecture the public while living insulated from the consequences of those lectures. That's what keeps triggering backlash right there. That's what keeps driving cultural division right now in America. And that's exactly why moments like Mars goes viral. These Democrats want millions of us out here under this spell of rhetoric. Hollywood can keep performing, but Americans, we're getting pretty good at spotting the scripts. So if you made it to the end of this video, I want you to write unfiltered. Yes, write unfiltered, man, because that's all we're trying to do is bring the unfiltered truth here. While they over there adding on their filters and effects. Y'all be safe. Go check on a friend today. You can quite literally be saving his life. I'm over here planning some last minute stuff for my son's 16th birthday. I appreciate the comments, y'all. Happy birthday, Steven, and telling, saying all that your dad is all this type. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. It's pretty cool. I can't wait to show him that. Like, yeah, son, look. What your daddy doing on the internet? I am somebody. My sons, my kids, they don't care nothing about none of it, which I love, but anywho, let me stop talking. I'm talking y'all ears out. Be safe. Go check on somebody today. You could be saving a life. Okay. Pay.